Now coming to the last discussion for today's CME, that is recurrent pregnancy loss. For that, I would like to invite on stage Dr. R.G. Patel sir and Dr. Mehul Damani sir. And as panelist, I would like to invite Dr. Sagar Thakkar sir, Dr. Aksha Khatri ma'am, Dr. Kundan Modi sir, Dr. Amit Patel sir, Dr. Manish Pandya sir, Dr. Shakti C. Waghela sir, Dr. Pratik Solanki sir, Dr. Divya Tekani ma'am, and Dr. Jitur Prajapati sir.
Chalo, full day we have discussed about how to get the pregnancy, egg, sperm, endometrium, endoscopy. So now we have to maintain the pregnancy. We have to give the baby in their hand. We need pregnancy. We have to avoid the complication, avoid the abortion, and good monitoring during the pregnancy. So interesting subject. How to deal with the repeated pregnancy loss. We have our panelist, coach and person, Damani, will start the.
See, recurrent pregnancy loss is a nightmare for any fertility specialist. This is the T.G. Thomas who described in 1908 that I recall nothing which in times past has caused me more anxiety and doubt. And that sentence is true after 125 years till now. So, this is a very confusing scenario. So, patients' question are how it has happened, will it happen again, why it has happened, could it have been avoided or not, and we all know it is a disturbing condition. So, starting with the question, what is the definition of the RPL, recurrent pregnancy loss?
Uh,
Yeah, you.
Loss of 3 consecutive pregnancies is defined as a recurrent pregnancy loss.
So 2 or 3 doesn't matter, but even now people one abortion is matter because of high cost IVF and everything. By definition, 2 abortion or 3 abortion, you can start the investigation.
Any incidence? What is the incidence of RPL? There are variety of
2 to 3%.
incidences mentioned into the
So
literature.
out of all pregnancy, 12% will abort. So 2 abortion, 3 abortion, repeated pregnancy loss is around 1 to 2%.
1 to 2%. So I will more focus on the clinical
Cause.
part.
Yes.
So these are the causes. We all know that genetic factors, fetal anomalies itself, uterine problem, immunological causes, hereditary thrombophilias, trauma, endocrine, alloimmune infection. There is a spectrum of problem that is associated with RPL. So these are the proposed etiology with the percentage value, and out of these, anatomic factors are around 15%, endocrine factors are around 20%, and immunologic factors are around 20 to 50% high. This is the known and idiopathic etiology, and these are the risk factors we know: more than 40 age, obesity, addiction, and
Lack
drug
of
exposure. Stress is mentioned also, but it is not proven. And I'm keeping these few theoretical slides and jumping to the case one. So this is a typical 24-year-old female, married since 5 years. First was a vesicular mole, DNA done. Second is a missed abortion at 7 weeks, DNA not done. Missed abortion at 6 weeks in the third, and in the fourth 6 week blighted ovum. And after investigation, all these things are normal, apply and hormonal findings normal, but karyotyping shows this.
Bolo, Manish Pandya sir, how will you
This is
tackle?
typically you are talking about RG, Robertsian translocation.
Translocation.
And in Robertsian translocation,
Reciprocal.
the chances of continuous recurrent pregnancy loss is, as this patient has undergone 4 times. So it is little bit of chromosomal abnormality. So either we have to change the gametes or we have to give them the chance that if we are doing with the same your gametes, there are chances of again recurrent abortion, but there are 2% chances that you can have their normal pregnancy also. And we have, and after in this type of patient, if they want to have their own progeny, we can do that and we can go for PGD and we can give euploid embryo that we can transfer. Otherwise, the embryo with chromosomal abnormality we should avoid. And if they don't want to go for IVF and PGD, we give them the options of changing the gametes.
See, here two question arises, basic questions. All abortus should be genetically tested or not? Number one. Second thing, all parents are genetically tested or not?
What is the
Please
role of to
elaborate.
do karyotyping for the repeated pregnancy loss?
When there is 5 pregnancy loss, we should go for karyotyping of husband and wife both.
5.
Because there is 4.
4, yes, yes.
In your case scenario, it is already 4. So to give them the options of karyotyping. And Mehul, you had rightly pointed out that whenever there is 2 or 3 abortions, now we have got facility of karyotyping of abortus also. Usually it is that not that much proving, but with karyotyping of fetuses, we know that this is chromosomally abnormal fetus, and we can explain to the couple that why your baby is exported or
What
why
care-
your mother has rejected you.
Because of, we have to do product of conception for the genetic study. That is microarray. This is not routine karyotyping. So in a microarray, how to collect the sample is also very important.
Yeah.
And when to.
You have to
And
collect the
which-
sample very
The tissue should
tissue
be viable.
Tissue should be
Tissue
viable.
should not
tissue
be
should
mixed with
be-
the mother blood. And
You
you
have
have
to give
to
in
collect
the
in the culture media with the
culture media
gentamicin.
With gentamicin, yes.
And then you can send. But
It should be
practically,
aseptic precaution because
Yeah.
usually most of the abortus material they say there is nothing is found, there is
what
infection.
information you will gain after microarray report it came? What information and how will you interpret? How will you? It will help for your further treatment. Manish. So report.
Vijay, Sagar,
So report
any-
Yes, Sagar bhai.
only if it is come positive. This is the reason for the genetic reason. So other reason you have rule out. So if it is negative, then you have to consider on other reasons.
So we
So
have we
anybody is doing microarray? Anybody doing?
yes, sir. I am doing.
Yes, sir. So what is your
Abortus we are doing, but whenever things comes positive, we are happy that we can explain. But whenever it comes negative, then it is on our part how
Yes, sir.
we have to prove that why it has happened to you.
about
bhai.
cost, about
want to say
cost and reliability of the lab? Yes, sir. Gopal sir, Irani sir. What is your experience, practical experience about to do microarray? How many you have done, and what is your? Yes, that is the message.
So
That is the
conclude.
message.
So, what SRA guidelines says, in conclusion, genetic analysis of pregnancy tissue is not routinely recommended, but it could be performed for the explanatory purposes. For genetic
research
analysis of
research
pregnancy
and for-
tissue, array CGH is recommended, what RG has mentioned, and on a reduced maternal contamination effect. Right? So, this is the clear-cut SRA guideline. Anything about parental karyotype?
Already discussed.
So we know that there are
so-
reciprocal and
so-
Robertson translocation.
In a Robertson's translocation, there are two types. This is a this is different. Balance and unbalance is a different. Robertson's translocation is different. Slide बताओ Robertson. Robertson's translocations happen in a small chromosomes. From full chromosome one attached to the another chromosome. So one pair having one chromosome and one having three
Three
chromosomes.
chromosomes.
So if you do IVF, the chances of blastocyst formation is only 16%. But in a balanced translocation, you can do PGT and chances of blastocyst formation is more.
See,
If
in a-
Robertson's translocation is homozygous, same pair, 14 chromosome, from 14 to 14 chromosome, then there is no any remedy except egg donation. That is the different.
see,
If
in
it is a different pair, chances of own egg IVF is possible. But if it is the same pair, then egg donation is the only answer.
so this is the simple understanding. Reciprocal translocation occur when two different chromosomes exchange the segment. Right? So 46 chromosome with two variants. While in Robertson and translocation occur when two chromosomes fuse together. So creating one chromosome that contains most of the genetics of the material of the original two. So 46 chromosome with only one variant. So this is the simple understanding of the.
Good.
So I am skipping few slides. So counseling is not, and genetic counseling should be offered to all couple.
What is the interesting case we have seen? Female part we have seen X, Y. In male we have sometimes find XX. So to do karyotyping is sometimes important. We can diagnose this type abnormal karyotyping. Recently we have diagnosed XYY, Jacob syndrome, Superman. And in one case we have formed the embryo and get the result. In one twice we have stimulated, no blastocyst is formed. Just we are waiting for the third stimulation.
So what finally ESRE guidelines tell about the parental karyotyping? Parental karyotyping is not routinely recommended in couples with RPL. It could be carried out after individual assessment risk. So this is the message of ESRE.
Now, as a practical, after 2-3 fail, better to do it practically. Because now 2000, total cost is 5,000. If third and fourth abortion, it will be headache for the. So we have to do something, and the cost effective is karyotyping instead of microRNA and other thing. Because in APLA, you have to investigate. Hardly we have find out positive things in APLA. ANA positive or beta-2 glycoprotein positive. So I'm talking about the practical cost and information.
So now after genetic, we are moving to the second interesting part of the RPL. This is a 28-year-old lady with first preterm stillbirth at 7-month amenorrhea. Then missed abortion at 6 and 8 week. Menstrual history is regular, medical history, childhood asthma, history of diabetes and hypertension in family. They have done torch analysis. In torch analysis, rubella was IgM negative, toxo IgM negative, CMV, herpes,
Can I have
everything.
one word for the torch? Mostly no need. Torch have no torch. But interpretation is very important. I have seen many cases. Patients are coming because IgG may be positive. That suggests
Past
patient is immunized. When IgM is positive, then we can think about there is active infection. If IgM is positive, you have to repeat after 6 weeks. Then if titer is rising, then it is TEM case, this is the torch may got the infection. So mostly torch no need, only we are doing practical is rubella, IgG, IgM. And sometimes toxoplasmosis, some farmer or barefoot, they are dealing with the animal, then there is a few chance of having toxoplasmosis. More common in UP and Bihar, they are doing a torch and they are giving so many antiviral therapy also. But in Gujarat, mostly there is no need to do torch for the investigation.
And on the same patient, anticardiolipin is strongly positive, LA was high positive. So what will be now? First question is RG has elaborated. What is the role of torch in current scenario? And is there any role of other infections
Yes.
for RPL?
Yes, anybody?
कोई panel
Infection
Sir,
other than torch.
syphilis, bacterial vaginosis,
For
chlamydia
RPL.
for RPL.
Okay, it is common infection, vaginal infection, Gardner and PID and everything. Syphilis okay, but it is not a reason for repeated pregnancy loss. What other infection can do repeated pregnancy loss? That is chronic endometritis. Chronic endometritis is very common. Tuberculosis or sometime another chronic endometritis.
Chlamydia.
You have to do endometrial biopsy, go for the culture, give antibiotic, little higher antibiotic for the prolonged time, and then you can solve the problem.
So there are certain infections enlisted here. They have a role in the recurrent pregnancy loss, and you have to think about the chronic endometritis and find it out. And this RCOG guideline about torch. So they clear cut say no to torch investigation. Well. So now apply is positive as mentioned. How will you manage?
So what investigation practically you are doing for to rule out the APLA? Anticardiolopin.
Beta 2
Beta 2
glycoprotein,
microglobulin.
APTT, PT, APTT.
And how many time it come positive? How will you interpret it? તમે લેબોરેટરીમાં ટેસ્ટ તો કરાવો છો પણ એનું ઇન્ટરપ્રિટેશન કઈ રીતે કરો છો પોઝિટિવ કેટલાને આવ્યું સો ધીસ ઇઝ અ બાયોલોજિકલ ક્લિનિકલ આપલા what you have to see for the this is for a laboratory investigation. Very rarely we have seen anti-nuclear antibody is positive.
And
Past and mostly we have to go for the clinical APLA. That is previous history of severe pregnancy induced hypertension, any unexplained maybe PIH with IUFD or some structurally normal but loss after 10 weeks. So this is all clinical suggested APLA syndrome. In that case, we have to think to give all medicine.
yes, so thrombogenic etiology
Yeah.
in all these cases after viability of the pregnancy. That is the correct word. You should understand. So usually the chromosomal anomaly is before the viability, less than 8 week, more than 8 week. After viability, pregnancy is lost, more towards the APLA. Right? So these are the two simple differentiation.
By definition, anybody have experienced patient having history of pure thrombosis, maybe OCP, maybe thrombosis in a DVT, and sometime even MI and stent, and then we have to go for the IVF. Anybody have experience, practical experience? So that now a difficult case are coming with the prior history of all strong history of thrombosis. And patients are taking warfarin. Now we have to shift on the low molecular heparin. But in APLA is positive, severe pH. How will you manage? What medicine you will give?
No molecular weight heparin and aspirin.
Yeah, so these are the standard even mentioned in the SRA guideline also. For women with RPL, we
But
recommend
what is the difference between therapeutic dose and prophylactic dose of low molecular heparin? And when will you stop ecosprin and when will you stop low molecular heparin during pregnancy? Yes, madam.
Ecosprin, we have to stop 1 week before we are expecting, supposingly we are taking for elective CS. So 1 week before that, and low molecular weight heparin 12 hours before the cesarean section.
Heparin we have, ecosprin we have to stop at what time week?
36 weeks.
At 33 weeks.
33.
Always stop ecosprin low dose aspirin at 33 weeks because of pediatrician have suggested, neonatologists have suggested to avoid any intracranial hemorrhage in neonate. So 33 weeks stop ecosprin. Heparin you have to continue. See the liker, any IUGR or not, any hypertension or not, and according to that you have to continue the heparin, and you can stop just 10-15 days before, or if any you are doubt patient it may go premature preterm pain, and you can stop before 10 or 15 days. Suppose patient is taking heparin, patient twin pregnancy, on tocolytic, how will you tackle? How will you give, what precaution you have to take during spinal and during cesarean? Yes. Khatri sahib bolo.
Take on heparin and on tocolytic or stop tocolytic.
પેશન્ટ પ્રીટમમાં આવ્યું
Preterm.
બધું ચાલુ છે હિપેરિન છે ઇકોસ્પ્રિન છે ટ્વીન છે અને ટોકોલાઇટિક બી છે એન્ટી હાઇપરટેન્સિવ બી છે
Then
સિઝેરિયન ના કરવું પડશે ને.
so if the condition
So-
if the preterm labor is preventable, if the Doppler findings and maternal condition and all parameters allow to delay the pregnancy, then we should wait till the effect of aspirin and LMWH wears off. or we can,
If patient has got affordability of atosiban, then we continue all the things and we can wait for 24 hours to get the breathing period, to get the betamethasone or
Steroid.
dexamethasone work. But in emergency, if suppose we have to do, we have to keep all our risk in our mind that there are all coagulation factor deficiency will be there. There
So
will be
keep
difficulty
all
in
the
uterine
chances of PPH.
contractility, PPH.
Give true stenostate to tranexamic acid before spinal and wait for half an hour, then you can give, because chances of during spinal there is a chance of bleeding. So you have to 2 injection of tranexamic acid before spinal, then arrange the blood, give your colleague or
Arrange for,
experts can do
arrange for
surgery.
coagulation factor,
Yeah.
FFP and
So
everything
you have
you
to
should be get
keep
ready.
in mind the chances of PPH will be there.
And
So-
even in RG, in this type of cases, avoid spinal anesthesia because in
Yes,
spinal,
that
because
can
there are
be.
chances of hemorrhage, because the small capillaries may get, so you can have a chances of thrombosis. Because you have to do cesarean section, better to do in GA because all the controls are in your hand rather than giving spinal anesthesia.
So summary of this APLA. For women with RPL, we recommend screening for the APLA testing after 2 pregnancy losses. And for women with RPL, screening for beta-2 glycoprotein can be considered. And treatment we know, heparin and aspirin that is recommended. Now case 3. 35-year-old woman with previous 3 missed abortions at 8, 7 and 10 weeks. And investigation summary shows the progesterone level deficiency. Serum progesterone is deficient on various blood tests and endometrial biopsy. So question comes here is your favorite luteal phase defect. How will you manage?
RPL with progesterone.
High dose
It-
of progesterone support.
What medicine you will give? What dose?
Natural micronized vaginal progesterone 400 milligram if it is like natural conception. If it's IVF conception, we can give it in BD or TDS dose. Do first on TDS 10
So
milligram.
we have to give progesterone,
Progesterone
support, as
support.
we know, but ESRE has not recommended routine use of progesterone in RPL. Even they have not recommended to do routine testing of luteal phase
yes.
deficiency in RPL.
But practically, we have to
We
give
do give.
little bit.
Anything about hormonal testing for RPL?
Thyroid,
Thyroid.
sugars,
So thyroid. Please.
prolactin,
HbA1c, yes. Diabetic, thyroid, and prolactin.
prolactin.
So what ESRE guideline says, overt hypothyroidism arising before conception or during early gestational should be treated with the levothyroxine. So thyroid is a definite cause of RPL. There is conflicting evidence regarding treatment with levothyroxine for women with subclinical hypothyroidism and RPL. If women with subclinical hypothyroidism and RPL are pregnant, TSH level should be checked in early gestational and hypothyroidism should be treated.
Sir, do you advise anti-TPO antibodies and
Yes.
all if
So that is the point I'm coming same Kish. So what is the subclinical hypothyroidism? So if you see the TSH may be normal, free T3, T4 may be normal. But clinically you suspect or some indication is there, so you have to do anti-TPO. If anti-TPO is high, you can give low dose of thyroxine in a repeated pregnancy loss.
Sir, I had one question.
Yes.
Regarding low molecular weight heparin. I've seen so many consultants writing different doses of LMWH. Like few people, they will write 40 microgram once a week. Someone will suggest daily. So, what is ideal scenario?
Daily. 40 milligram subcutaneous daily. That is the recommended.
But I've seen few
But you are,
consultants.
madam,
Is
right?
it prophylactically?
Because why some they start empirically, without any blood investigation, without any history, then they will go just prophylactic dose. They will monitor the IUGR and Liker and everything. So that is the different story. Empirically, if you are giving, but if it is case of APLA, documented clinically, then 40. No, sir. Yeah. 40 and depending on the also weight. If a patient more than 80, Manish, that also depend on the severity and also on the weight of the patient.
1 milligram.
Sometime even 0.4. We have seen cases. All the documented cases in all blood tests will come APLA positive, 2-3 fail, and if weight is 80 kg more, then we to give sometime twice a day. 60
So-
or twice a day.
So regarding hormonal causes and RPL, we summarize thyroid necessary, prolactin level testing is not necessary, but if you have tested an hyperprolactinemia, treat it with cabergoline or bromocriptine. And last word about
When
the
will you stop
PCOS.
cabergoline if you are giving for hyperprolactemia patient it conceive, 2 abortion, repeated pregnancy loss. Prolactin is high. You have maintained the prolactin level. Patient become pregnant. When will you stop the cabergoline? No. No. When the heartbeat it came, you have to. During pregnancy, there is no need. Any indication to give restart of the prolactin in the during pregnancy? In a known case of macroadenoma, known case, and patient on cabergoline, you have to stop when the heartbeat is came. Just monitor it. But any indication we have to restart because sometimes patients start vomiting, headache, and then we have to give again during pregnancy. That is the indication to restart the cabergoline.
Again, you have to check the prolactin level and then restart. And last is a metformin. People are giving metformin empirically, but it is not recommended, right? So these are the 3 main hormones. Okay.
Yeah, metformin.
Metformin.
Many controversy, but I believe to give metformin, not to improve the result, to avoid the OHSS, to avoid the abortion even. Now metformin is used as an anti-aging. There's so many studies coming. So not only for pregnancy loss, not only for PCOD, not only for diabetic, but now metformin to lose the weight, and it's an anti-aging. It's approved now. It's a blockbuster drug. Yes. Low dose, yes. Nowadays, study is ongoing. May days will come. But
Okay, so now last portion is a anatomical factors. Anything, any comment about cervical incompetency, RPL?
Second trimester losses are more common, and cervical polyps can be there, cervical dystocia, previous surgical history of cervix is there. In those cases, these kind of losses can be seen.
yeah, we have already discussed, Manish bhai, but study and guideline say different. So, what ASHRAE is saying?
For cervical incompetence?
No, not for polyp. Small polyp, no need to remove.
No need.
The guideline is saying, but practically we have to remove it.
See, there
Any
is a,
septum, better to remove with the scissor, not to use current. And any fibroid near to cavity, better to remove.
so all women with RPL should have an assessment of the uterine anatomy. And best thing to assess is a sonography, right? And MRI is not recommended, and sonohysterography is more accurate, as we have discussed. And as this is a long suggestion, but as RGS mentioned, uterine septum, big enough need to be removed. Submucous myoma, they have not recommended, but for all practical purposes, we remove submucous myomas and all that thing. So, I think
Was straightening,
हाँ,
double
few-
was
few
straightening,
words
laparoscopic was straightening. Anybody have experience? Anybody doing before pregnancy, before embryo transfer, laparoscopic was straightening to prevent the mid-trimester?
interval
Interval.
laparoscopic os wiring has a definite role, and it gives wonderful results when traditional os wiring does not help.
During pregnancy, anybody have done was straightening at 3 months?
Laparoscopic.
Yes,
Yes, we can. We had done it. Rescue. No,
but very
no,
risky.
very risky.
Very, very vascular.
but you can do
Practically
it.
very difficult to say if anything happened. So people
Prevent.
are doing during pregnancy at 3 months, previous history of 2 or 3 second trimester loss, but very dangerous. We have done 3, but now we
Stopped
think
it.
retrograde not to do. So it's too much vascular, too much risky because of manipulation. So, but
Modified
interval
Shirodkar
we
is
can
good.
do it.
Modified Shirodkar is good rather than going
Modified
for
Shirodkar is good.
So,
And cervicorrhaphy. If deep cervical tear, we can do cervicorrhaphy. Practically, I have done
Tracheorrhaphy.
5 cases, all successful.
tracheorrhaphy.
Because of previous normal delivery or normal tear, if deep tear, we can repair it before the pregnancy, that known as cervicorrhaphy, and result will be good.
So I am giving you final summary of evaluation. When there is a immunologic factor, we know all diagnostic criteria: lupus, anticoagulant, anticardiolipin, and antiphospholipid. An abnormal result is only 15 to 20%, and therapy is aspirin, heparin, and immunoglobulin is a question mark. Structural chromosomal rearrangement, cytogenetic analysis of both the partner, incidence is only 2.5 to 8%. Genetic counseling should be offered in PGD, and last option is a donor gamete. Endocrinologic evaluation, so we can test by endometrial biopsy, mid-luteal progesterone, thyroid, prolactin, and fasting blood sugar level. Again, incidence is 8 to 12%, and we have to treat accordingly with progesterone or thyroid or cabergoline. Anatomic factors should be assessed by sonography, hysteroscopy, salpingography, and sonohysterography, and metroplasty, adhesiolysis, and myomectomy. Thrombophilia, genetic factors of thrombophilia need not to be assessed. Microbiologic, as we have discussed, we have to find out the exact cause of endometritis and treat it with the due antibiotics. Psychologic, tender loving care has a most important role in the recurrent pregnancy
Because
loss.
whatever you do, 70% we can understand little bit about the RPL. 30-40% we never understand why it happened.
Yes.
Whatever you do, immunotherapy, paternal lymphocyte, steroid, any immunosuppressive drug like tacrolimus or anything, but 30% we never say what happened. Most common cause may be the adenomyotic uterus. Sometime maybe hidden endometriosis, sometime hidden, the patient may not give the history of termination. Sometime 3 months after SD, immediately they remove the uterus. That leads to adenomyotic uterus. And that is endometrium damage and uterus is also damaged.
So,
That is the most
અને
common cause.
ઘણા બધામાં કશું કર્યા વગર પણ સરસ રિઝલ્ટ
Yes.
આવી જતું હોય છે. So tender loving care and due intelligence should be applied rather than bombarding the investigation and treatment.
3 મેડિસિન સાહેબ આપણે જે ડિસ્કશન નથી થયા મને એક છે ઇન્ટ્રાલિપિડ
એ છે જ આમાં પણ આપણે જાણી જોઈને એવોઇડ કરીએ.
એટલા માટે કે ધીસ ઓલ વી હેવ ડન રૂટીન ડિસ્કશન
So it is by guideline, no, not to give.
Okay.
મારી વાત
Intralipid.
સાંભળો જસ્ટ મિનિટ આરજી સાહેબ
Please, please.
one is intralipid one is LIT and one is guficin હવે આપણે જો recommendation ની વાત કરીએ તો they do not recommend the progesterone even
સાચી વાત છે.
they
ના,
do
સાચી
not
વાત છે.
recommend ovulation induction in normal ovulatory patient also so many things they are not હવે મને આપણે સપોઝ કે FET કર્યો હોય તો બી આપણે SCG આપીએ છીએ See,
એમને
હું
what
બી
is
આપું છું.
what is your take home message for all these three?
તમારો એક્સપિરિયન્સ શેર કરો.
Be experienced, not experimental, and look toward the purse of the patient also.
Very true. That's what
You will
guideline
give
says.
before embryo
See.
transfer or after embryo transfer?
કયું સાહેબ?
Intralipid. Some people are giving Bhar Globe also. Immunoglobulin.
આ સારું એનો
Bar-
સાહેબ જેમાં રિઝલ્ટ મળે છે એમાં સારા જ મળે છે એટ ધ ટાઈમ ઓફ એમ્બ્રિયો ટ્રાન્સફર બિફોર 1 week of embryo transfer Barglob and at that before the time of embryo transfer intralipid IV once a week. This is what we are doing. But patient selection should be proper. હવે એ જ વસ્તુ મેઇન છે કેમ કે હમણાં ગુફિસિન વાળા જોડે મેં વાતચીત કરી કેમ કે 24,000ના 13 ઇન્જેક્શન આપે છે તો એણે એવું કહ્યું કે સાહેબ
થાઇમોસિન આલ્ફા.
હા થાઇમોસિન આલ્ફા એમ તો કે સાહેબ પેશન્ટ સિલેક્શન બરાબર હોવું જોઈએ.
એનો meaning
પેશન્ટનું સિલેક્શન મીન્સ પેશન્ટના ખીચામાં પૈસા છે કે નહીં એ સિલેક્શન.
see basically all these things currently not enough researched and not recommended by any of the guidelines.
So
So
your
this is the
first
message.
sentence મેહુલ કે 100 વર્ષ પછી બી હજી નથી ખબર એ ઘણી વસ્તુ સાચી છે. 1999 માં ક્લાર્ક એટ ઓલે પેપર કર્યું હતું કે વાય મધર યોર મધર હેઝ રિજેક્ટેડ યુ. આઈ રિક્વેસ્ટ ઓલ ધ પેનલિસ્ટ ટુ કમ ઓવર હિયર ટુ હેવ વન ગ્રુપ photographs. And this is last session. So they told that why your mother has rejected you. So till that we are not giving the answer that it is uterus who is deciding, it is embryo who is deciding, or it is the cultivation or that khatar, fertilizer. It is deciding the fate of it is the fate of baby inside the uterus. So thank you very much, Dr. RG, Dr. Mehul, for giving this opportunity. I will request Dr. Puneet. Puneet, આવતર તારું ઘર છે છેલ્લો ફોટો પત્ની પાડે આવતર બે જણા સેક્રેટરી મેડમ એનાઉન્સર મેડમ આવજો આવતર તું લાંબો પાછળ ઉભો રહી
સાહેબ આમ
So small interesting fact I would like to share here while the group photography is going on, that one of our patient was having recurrent pregnancy loss. There was 2 abortion, 1 full-term IUFD, conceived naturally the next time, and it was turned out to be a normal pregnancy, normal outcome, and we took elective cesarean section. The baby got 2 years old, the patient got conceived again. This time again we were absolutely relaxed that એક બચ્ચો તો અમને થઈ ગયો હવે શું વાંધો છે. We continued till 36 weeks of pregnancy. The baby was normal. We took elective cesarean section. Mother and baby, everything was fine. After 24 hours of cesarean section, that is for second time, patient started developing severe throbbing headache. 1 day, 2 day, and the symptoms were getting bad and bad again. Neurophysician opinion was taken and the case was found to be a case of cavernous venous thrombosis. Yes, so whenever there is RPL, take care of mother as well because mother is also in danger.
મેડમ જસ્ટ એક જ વાત સાંભળી લેજો હિરાણી સાહેબ અને ધીસ ઇઝ સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ થિંગ કે ફોરેનમાં એક જ ભગવાન છે એ લોકો ક્રાઇસ્ટમાં માને છે કાં તો ખુદામાં માને છે કાં તો કશાકમાં બીજામાં માને છે. આપણા સાલું જો એક ભગવાન ઉપર વિશ્વાસ ના હોય આટલા બધા જોઈતા હોય તો પછી એક મેડિસિન ઉપર ભરોસો ક્યાંથી હોય.
Galaxy Ahmedabad, the Philips dealer, state-wise. The next in the list with us are the supporters from Crystal Pharmaceuticals, the Parag Lalpura and team. From Crystal Pharmaceuticals, we have Mr. Puneet and his colleague with us. Thank you for supporting us. Please receive a small appreciation from our side. And the last but not the least supporter with us is In Blues Pharma, Mukesh Padharia sir, and his team. Mukesh Bhai Padharia, Jai Swaminarayan. Avજો. Please receive a small token of appreciation from our side, and all the delegates and faculties are requested to please be with us for a small group photo on the stage now, and we have high tea with us in the dining area. કોઈએ જવાનું નથી, દરવાજા બંધ કરો. Okay, so let us join on the stage for a group photo where faculties will sit on the chairs and will be standing outside for giving them standing ovation.